Perek Lamed Hey.
Sean, you want a screen share because I have to go into the car in the middle?
Yeah.
Perek Lamed Hey.
Oh, hold on.
Pasuk Aleph.
One second.
Who wants to read?
One sec. Okay, Pasuk Aleph. We're in Bereshit.
Lamed Hey.
I can read.
Hi, Ellie.
Ellie's there too?
Okay. Lamed Hey Pasuk Aleph.
Hi.
I can read, Saba.
Okay.
Okay. Vayomer Elokim El Yaakov
Wait,
Kum
What
Alei.
is it, Ahuva? Oh, I get you.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Vayomer Elokim El Yaakov Kum Alei Bikal. Vishav Sham Vaste Sham Mizbeach Lakal Hanirai Lacha Divar Chacha Mipnei Esav Achicha.
Okay, so Ahuva, what do you think this means?
And Hashem said to Yaakov, go up to
That
Be'el and
you owe me, right? You owe me. In other words, there was a time when you ran away from Esav and you did something, right?
Mhm.
yeah,
Right? Okay.
yeah.
So let's see what actually what the promise was on the part of Yaakov. And Hashem says, now you go back. So let's see what's that. So the pasuk it's in Perek Kafet, pasuk Chaf. You want to read that?
Let me just open it up.
Oh, sorry, Sean. I thought you didn't realize. I was like,
Perek Kapchet Pasuk. Which one? Vav?
Pasuk Chaf.
Chaf. Oh, sorry. Should I read it?
Please.
וידר יעקב נדר לאמור, אם יהיה אלוקים עמדי, ושמרני בדרך הזה, אשר אנוכי הולך, ונתן לי לחם לאכול ובגד ללבוש. ושבתי בשלום אל בית אבי, והיה השם לי לאלוקים, והאבן הזאת אשר שמתי מצבה, יהיה בית אלוקים, וכל אשר תיתן לי, אעשרנו לך.
Okay, now if you do any kind of logic or math, there is an if and there is a then. For example, any regular equation, 2 times x equals 10 means that if 2 times 10 equals 10, the x equals 5. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There is an if and there is a then. So where does the if begin? It's easy. Where does the if begin?
Im.
Okay, and where does it then start?
והיה השם לי לאלוקים. No?
Okay. I mean that seems to be the and if you want, and furthermore, does that make sense? God, you will be my God if you do what I want you to do. And if you do what I want you to do, then you'll be my God. Is that really the way we think in terms of that?
No.
In other words, so there's a problem if you do the if and the then in this case, meaning if it doesn't hold true, Hashem will not be Elohim. Is that really the way you think Yaakov thought?
Probably
Okay?
not.
Probably not.
Wait, Sean, is it on the
Well, actually-
Pesukim?
Sorry?
Yeah, do you not see it?
No, I just see your email.
Oh,
What's going on?
sorry.
Sorry, because I couldn't see the Pesukim.
Okay. So Rashi Rashi will put the then in a different place. I'll read to you how Rashi puts it. וידע יעקב נאמר, אם יהיה אלוקים עד ישמע בדרך הזה אשר נתן ונתן ידיך בכל ובגד ללבוש ושאל בשלום את אבי והשם לאלוקים then והיה האבן הזאת מצבה וכל שזה נעשה תעשנו לך. In other words, if Hashem is going to be my God in the sense that I can see him, that normally is a situation, human beings, then I'll bring the matzeva. Does that make sense? Hello?
Say that again. Saba, what?
You remember I started with the if and the then.
נכון.
Rashi puts the then, not then v'haya Hashem li lelokim. No, if Hashem li lelokim, then ha'evan azot v'sham matzeva yvet Elohim. I went to matzeva in El Israel, and I'll build masorot, and I'll make a special matzeva. That's Rashi's
that makes
approach
sense.
to this. Makes sense. Well, yeah, but if you really, what was your first act? Your first instance was to say, Shalom, then vaya Hashem li lelokim. I mean, that's if you read it regularly. Ve'ha'evan, and it's a Malach Chibur. So Rashi has to give up the Malach Chibur because it doesn't make sense. Ve'haya Hashem li lelokim, then ve'ha'evan azot. That doesn't end up here. In other words, if you read the way you originally read, if you go ahead, if you get then vaya Hashem li lelokim. The Vav makes sense. Does everybody with me?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody not? In other words, Rashi puts the then in a place that is not exactly the pshat, but he has no choice because it's impossible to speak to God like that. God, you give me food and shelter, and then I'll give you. You know what? You give me $100, I'll give you a tenth of it. I mean, it just doesn't, the way we humans don't talk like that enough.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a nether. It's a nether. You can't just play around with it. So Rashi actually, because of the situation, has to put the then not under V'haya Hashem Elokim, but the way it means the Hashem Elokim, then ha'evan na'ameh matzeva, and I'll bring a masrot. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to give you an idea that Rabbi Tendal that is so beautiful. And he says, no. And I'm saying, no. He says, I have another approach to this. I will put the then, vaya Hashem li lelokim. How's he going to do this? Beautiful. You still, everyone there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'd like to tell you what goes on either way. Vaya Yudke Vavke Elokim. And what's the difference between Yudke Vavke and Elokim?
Rachamim
Was
and
it?
Din.
Yeah.
There's another way to look at it. Elokim in Gematria is Hateva. The way God creates the universe. Let's go. If somebody decides he's going to jump off the Empire State Building from the 86th floor, and on the 32nd floor, I'm sorry, I want the tshuva. Basically, nature does not allow that. Yud-Kei Vav-Kei is the God of person. I say to God, God, I made a mistake. Well, if you made a mistake, then I can change. Hashem can change, so to speak, because if you change, I change. Now, what is the difference between Yud-Kei Vav-Kei and Elokim? So when you're a small child, you come over to somebody and you punch him. Slowly teach a child, you don't do something, you don't go punching. And after a while, it doesn't become his own chilach of sheep. It's part of his nature. He would never go around and punch somebody. It's out of situation. As we become more and more into Hashem, we lose more and more chilach of sheep, so to speak. It would never dawn on me to eat a ham sandwich. It's not within me. It's a level of Yud-Kei Vav-Kei that is no longer there, but becomes part of me. Elokim. As we grow older and older and make more and nobody would go around killing somebody. It's not b'chilach of sheep. Nobody would go around cheating somebody. Nobody would go around. It's part of me. I see somebody. I see a poor person. It's not. Oh, I could give him. I could not give. No. Lo tuchal yitalem mimenu. You in Dvarim, the word lo tuchal appears only 4 times in all of Chumash. Lo tuchal yitalem kitera chamos onacha. You see an animal now. Lo tuchal yitalem. In Shmot, it says lo titalem mimenu because I do. By the time Dvarim appears, when Moshe Rabbeinu has been the Rebbe of the Jewish people for 40 years, lo tuchal is nothing you cannot. It's within you to do this. לא תוכל לשים עליך מלך. That's not in you. What do you mean I can't? Of course I can. No, you can. It's so part of your nature that you no longer have even the capability of doing this. Says Yaakov Avinu Hashem, Im yeh Elokim madi ushmara li b'derech hazeh asher natan li lechem lechol uveg lilbosh. I'm running away from my brother. I have nothing to eat, nothing to drink. V'shavti b'shomet avi. I tell you that by then, my nature will have changed. V'haya yudke vavke li le'elokim. It'll be within my nature to do the right thing for you. Within ours, lo tuchal להתעלם ממנו. The more closer I get to Hashem, the more Hashem Yudke Vavke becomes Elokim, becomes my nature. It's not possible for me to do the wrong thing. Then, but the main issue is Yudke Vavke becomes by nature, Hateva. My nature is such that it couldn't possibly, as no longer I would not possibly hurt somebody. It's not within me to do this. I think there's a very beautiful idea. Rabbi Tan explained it as to what this neder is. The neder is it's a collection of experiences with God to the point I'm so close to Hashem. He gave me so much. He gave me all this. Now Hashem Yudkevavke is looking. And now in Pashas Vayishlach, Hashem, oh, let me see what you really do. Because remember, we started, go now to Beit El, and there build up what you said. Seva, build a mizbeach, and call Hashem's names, and then Yud Kei Vav Kei becomes Elokim. Yafeh?
Very nice, Abba.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Hi, Saba.
Yeah, anybody want to add?
Saba, I
anything to
joined
this?
in the middle. I just want to say hi.
Who is this?
Holly.
Oh, I don't see it.
Do you see me?
Uh,
If you swipe, maybe. Just want to say hi.
okay. Oh, there you go. I see now. Okay, so we have an idea. I think it's a very nice idea. Anybody want to add anything to this or question?
Saba, what's the pasuk in Vayishlach again that it says it in?
Vayishlach? Sure. Very good.
Yeah, like what's the pasuk?
I think it's Lamed Hey.
Like
Was it Lamed Hey Aleph? I think so, wasn't it?
Lamed Hey Aleph.
I think so. Yesterday's post.
So you're saying because it says Elokim and not Hashem, it's showing like that you have to. You should explain that, like the end point again. You were just saying that because it says Elokim and not Yud Kei Vav Kei.
Vayali Yud Kei. And look at this. Very good. Lamed Hey Amud Aleph. Vayomer Elokim El Yaakov. He made it. You are now in a state where you have no mochit, so to speak. It wouldn't dawn upon me, God forbid, to kill somebody. It wouldn't dawn upon me to eat that kosher. It wouldn't dawn upon me to see an animal on the floor and not help it. It wouldn't dawn on me. It's Elokim. Elokim, and the Gematria is Hateva. It's now become nature. It's no longer Vayomer Elokim. Kumale Beit El v'Shem Sham v'Aseh Sham Mizbeach la'el hanirah elecha. Beautiful. Okay. Yafeh?
Yeah, it's really nice, Sabs. Thank you so
Very
much.
good. Thank you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.
Thank you, Saba.
Thank you all. So good. Shalom and bracha.
We love you, Sab.
Love you
Love
all.
you, Saba.